Hey everyone, it was my birthday today.
Well, yesterday and probably not anywhere close to the day that this video actually goes up, but anyway, the installation should have finished on this. I had a little bit of a hiccup doing that when I left it overnight. I actually closed this lid because I didn't want the screen to burn itself out overnight. You know, I want to keep this working as long as I can, and since the backlight's turning yellow, I wasn't sure if it had a ton of life left, so I wanted to try to extend it. But when I did that, I guess it made the installation fail when I opened it back up. And yeah, long story short, I had to do it all over again. Or basically just restart the computer and then it should have been fine. So now, of course it's not going to start up because, well, the cable's unplugged and there's no battery in here, as we know from the previous videos. This is like, what, part 8? Something like that, but anyway. 10.11 should be installed. This computer was asleep when I came back home after my adventures of my birthday. So, let's plug it back in. See if this is true. Here we go. Alright. Got some strobing going on. That's normal for this machine. It's really weird because if you see it, down here it's much brighter. I think this is actually a CCFL backlit panel. This is actually a fluorescently lit panel instead of being LED. I believe all the unibody models were LED panels. This is a fluorescent, like a fluorescent vacuum tube kind of lighting here, I think. Let me take a look around it, actually. You know what? If you're not used to panels that are much newer, this actually looks pretty good. You know, if it wasn't kind of dim comparatively. I'm just talking about the color. I mean, you can tell it's kind of yellow. Okay, maybe you can't because the lighting in this room is so yellow that I had to kind of dial back my kelvins. So you probably won't see much of the yellowing here because I had to change the color temperature of the recording. This is being recorded on a Canon EOS R5C, by the way. Not a cheap camera, so hopefully this footage holds up. Come on, it's taking a while. Only have a few minutes to do this because it's actually past midnight. What for dinner? This for dinner. But it's past normal dinner time. Let's do, what time is it? It is 12:38 a.m. Hasn't been a long day, but it hasn't really been a short day either. Come on, what is this doing? This is on an SSD. This should not be this slow. Maybe it's just gonna fail because I'm not sure why it's taking this long. I saw this symptom, it just freezing right there, on iMacs in my middle school. Yeah, it was in my middle school. Oh, Jesus. What, it wasn't done? You gotta be kidding me. I left this thing for like 8 hours. I think it was longer than that. Yeah, I think it was actually 10 hours I've left this thing to do what it's doing. And for some reason, it still wants to just continue installing. It's been 10 hours. What are you doing? Okay, I'm gonna have to cut all of this footage down because there's no way that I am going to just leave all this in here. 19 minutes remaining, huh? God damn. That's severely annoying. Alright, well, I'll come back when it's close to being done. God damn it. Alright, back to this system. See what's been going on. So for some reason, every time I try to install, this happens. And I have no idea what's going on because it doesn't really seem to say anything. What the hell? So it's weird. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I wish there was a scroll bar. I don't know what any of this means. So, yeah, I don't think this is working, and that's a shame. Let's see if we can start up into something. What the hell, that was weird. Where's the startup disks? There we go. Well, it looks like those are the only two. Crap. Okay, well, let's just copy the 10.7. Okay, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'll come back to you when I have a solution. Hey everyone, welcome back to not Mellowcore. The hell is this thing called again? Peppercore. Mepper. Welcome back to Mepper. Last time, well, we ended it with kind of a cliffhanger with this thing either successfully installing or running El Crappitan. And unfortunately, it didn't do that. For some reason, when I interrupted the installation by shutting the lid the day before my birthday, because I didn't want to waste the, the panel, because that's a really cool panel, I interrupted the installation process and it became corrupted and unfixable. Like I first just tried to restart it because it popped up a window saying I could restart the installation process if I just restart the computer, so I did that a couple times. First time, it took the same amount of time, so pretty much half a day, and then it errored again towards the end of the installation process, of course. After that, I tried it again, but first I went in to one of the other OS X installations on here and went into that partition that it was installing on and deleted the OS X install data folder, because maybe that was what was corrupted. I was like, okay, maybe this will make it do it over. But then it failed again, so that's another day wasted. And now it's been a couple days, and I basically just nuked that entire partition and just made it install from scratch. No 10.9 even on that partition anymore. That seems to have actually worked. So yeah, I just let it sit overnight, and when I woke up and I had a little bit of time, I went into the room that this machine was in from last time, and you saw the room it was in last time, but anyway. It's connected up, booted up, and it should boot into 10.11, El Crappitan. Yeah, so this took me a long time, longer than I thought it would, because I actually had a 15-inch machine with 10.11 on it, but unfortunately that machine doesn't actually work anymore. It was a 2008 non-unibody MacBook Pro 15-inch. For some reason that one just died after having a problem with the GPU, so. But this is a 17-inch, and it's the same GPU, I think the same CPU maybe, although maybe not. But yeah, this is definitely able to run El Crappitan, as we're seeing here. It is loading, and it's not in the install process anymore. Yay for Peppercore. Here's the setup. Oh wow, that's the full brightness. That's like nothing. Okay, whatever. Let's just continue. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is hook it up to Ethernet, which I luckily still have cable for, although it's going to slurp itself off the table, so I got to hold it onto something. Insertion force 1000. Come on. There we go. Okay, is it still on the freaking screen? Okay, good. Guess I could just continue without that. Yeah, okay. Now, I don't know. Oh, and apparently the trackpad is having a bit of difficulty. Keeps thinking that I'm clicking when I'm not, which is weird. You can see I'm not really putting any force on this, and it's every time I really do anything, it thinks I'm clicking when I'm not. So, okay, I don't think I want to transfer any information, not at the present time. Come on, oh, it thinks I'm clicking. So I just move it off. Okay. So now I should work. Sure. Enable Wiener services. Come on. Okay, this is really getting annoying. Maybe I have to hold this down. Yeah, there we go. That works. For some reason, this case, well, it doesn't have tension to the rest of the machine, so it's kind of broken. Yes, I do not want to sign in. Screw off. Sure, I agree to your. Yes. Ah, jeez. Okay, well, let's do this. Now, I'm not going to, oh, come on. Wow, that's some lag. Come on, Jesus. All right, now I'm not going to waste the opportunity to take a picture. Camera, oh yeah. It's gonna use the 480p camera here. Oh, that is awfully smooth, isn't it? God, that took forever. But now I have the picture. Yes, we're gonna use that. And all right, now it's creating the thing. I don't know why this is so slow. Yeah, it shouldn't be thermal throttling. Creating account, yeah, sure. All right, now it should dump us into El Crappitan. Wow, that is, uh-oh, what happened? Oh no. Oh, there it is. Oh, there we are. El Crappitan. This might be so slow because this is a, well, above 1080p panel on a 2007 laptop with a pretty bad GPU, so it's not surprising that this is excruciatingly slow. But like, this is on an SSD, and I'm honestly not sure why it's this bad. Unless it's just having an extraordinarily tough time drawing the UI here. But anyway, it does work. Maybe next time we'll test some games, possibly. And probably get Portal to run on this. Although it's definitely not going to run well, knowing the GPU that's in here. And the fact that this is an above 1080p panel. I will definitely attempt to run it. So anyway, I guess that's the conclusion to this. Oh man, that is wobbling. Sorry about that. Oh man. I guess that's the conclusion to this 10.11 fiasco. I was going to, I don't know, do more with this today, but I kind of just don't want to touch this right now because it's been pissing me off for the past few days, so. Too bad, so sad. This has been, the hell is this again? Peppercore. This has been Mepper. I'll see you all in the next video or series.
Bye bye.